the most shocking threat of the annihilation, the total annihilation of the Jewish people, is indeed in Megillat Esther. And Parshat Zachor the Shabbos, we're going to start reading about Amalek, about what it means of this commitment to the total annihilation of the Jewish people, heaven forbid. You see, Haman was the only person in recorded history which almost succeeded in killing every single Jew in every single country on one day. That was his diabolical plan. If not for the grace of God and for what Mordechai and Esther did, heaven forbid, it could have happened. That is what Amalek is, the single-minded destruction of evil against good. But you see, similarly in our generation, not as diabolical, but something which surprised all of us was October 7th. How many of us not could have only have foreseen this, but the outpouring of support for a terror organization, brutalizing, maiming, murdering, and taking hostage in the most horrific way that we all know. And such support on so many places around the world. And all of a sudden, the sense of how precarious Jewish destiny is, how people can turn on us, how people cannot see light from darkness, is something which shocked us all. And all of a sudden, the very survival and future of the Jewish state became something not to be taken for granted, with the forces of darkness and evil in the world. But you see, just like that moment then got turned around and brought about an incredible shift for the good, so too are we seeing in our generation. October 8th Jews in Israel and all around the world, who are galvanizing for the future of Jewish destiny, who part and parcel of wanting to identify more as Jews, be proud Jews, and want to play their part in the future of Jewish destiny. So too then, there was a great aha moment. Rava says famously in the Gemara Masechet Shabbat, Mikan moda'ar bala oraita. Do you know what actually happened? Incredibly, Hadar kibla b'mei Achashverosh. So great was the threat that it almost brought all the Jews together, that they reaccepted the Torah. They recommitted to Jewish destiny, because you see, says Rav Charlap, the great student of Rav Kook in Mamar Geula, he says sometimes it's anti-Semitism itself, sometimes it's the spilling of Jewish blood itself, pure Jewish blood, which causes the blood to boil, ignites the passion and the flame of Jewish destiny. And from the external enemy spilling blood comes an internal blood and passion for the future of Jewish history. It was Herzl who got turned around and became a Zionist and dedicated himself to the future of Jewish destiny because of anti-Semitism, the Dreyfus Affair. It's October 7th that has turned so many Jews back to returning to their people and the future of Jewish destiny. And it was Haman's horrific threat which got turned around and caused an entire generation, Hadar Kibla, to reaccept the Torah, to recommit to that Ki'ish Echad B'Lev Echad, that sense that just as we stood at Mount Sinai as one person with one heart, so too again do we have to commit, in Rav Soloveitchik's words, and recommit to the covenant of fate. We understood, you see, we are one people. No matter where we are in the world and how seemingly distant, we cannot escape our destiny. And therefore, when the Jews realized that no matter where they were, on the 127 countries, Mehodu Vad Kush, that Haman could reach them, and the long arm of evil and hatred could reach them, it gave them an ability to commit and recommit to what Jewish destiny is all about. And finally, I want to say, we see that the place that Amalek attacked from, the place that the Jewish people came from, is Refidim. Twice it says that we were in Refidim, and Amalek came after we had left Refidim. Why Refidim? Because our sages say Refidim milashon rafui. Refidim, rafu yedem batorah. Refidim rafui means weak. We were weakened. We rebelled against Hashem. That's where we had the whole argument with Hashem about the water. That's where the people argued with their leaders. When there is dissent and a lack of social cohesion, when there's rebellion against the leaders, when we can't get on with each other, when there's rebellion against God, that is what weakens us. It is this internal weakness of our connection to each other and to God which ultimately weakens us. And that Amalek and all those who wish to destroy come to hit us at our weak point and to try and take us at our most vulnerable. And therefore we have to turn our vulnerability into a strength, not refidim, but chazakim, to be strong. And from the spilling of so much Jewish blood and the threat of the continued spilling of so much Jewish blood, to reunite, Hadar Kibla, to all of us as a Jewish and Israeli society in Israel and all around the world, to commit and recommit to this covenant of fate, that we need to be in this together, just like all the Jews understood then, just like we understand today. And yes, there are divisions and differences of opinion, and sometimes vehement, but these cannot tear us apart. Indeed, they have to bring us closer together. It is that from the outside which comes to threaten us that has to bring us much closer internally together. Shabbat Shalom.